Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 10th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery across the region here. You can see the upper level low in plain sight off the Washington coast. You see all these white dots in there? Those are all lightning strikes. We're well above 2,000 strikes here now across western Washington up towards Vancouver Island. You see this activity moving towards southwest BC right now, and you can see some of these thunderstorms starting through eastern Oregon. Severe storm out there is possible, mainly a wind and hail threat. You can kind of see that feature moving northward. That's what monsoon moisture as we encounter some drier air that will end the thunderstorm threat for western Washington, and this will eventually kick this monsoon moisture out of the west side of the Cascades and the higher terrain here. But we will be dealing with thunderstorms through eastern Washington, Oregon, the higher terrain, the Cascades, eastern British Columbia here for the next couple of days also. So checking things out here, you can see that risk for some severe storms for eastern Oregon and Washington. You see those starting to fire up as well out there. So heads up for those, mainly a wind and hail threat again. Looking at SeaTac yesterday, 79 degrees, again below average today, probably though with that cloud cover going on. And we're going to remain seasonably cool through this weekend before we potentially warm up through next week. So we have potential for another heat wave. Stick with me here for a moment. We'll take a look at that. You can see Portland, little above average yesterday, and we're going to remain seasonably about average here until we get to next week and potentially warm up. So taking a look at what happened here this morning, you can see this upper level low helped bring some of that monsoon moisture into places like western Oregon, Washington, British Columbia. And as we go through the morning, kind of see that end from south to north across the region, finally kicking that moisture out of here. But it does remain for portions of eastern Washington, Oregon, British Columbia here on in through Thursday afternoon, as we will be continuing the thunderstorm threat mainly east of the Cascades. Now taking a look at this was the European 12Z. And you can see it picked up that lightning pretty well and brought it up the Puget Sound here. And it's showing some activity going on. It's across the Cascades, southeast Washington, northeast Oregon here through the afternoon. And then we redeveloped some thunderstorm threat through the North Cascades, Okanagan Highlands, northeast Washington, northeast Oregon as well through Thursday afternoon. And we're going to continue that activity on in through Friday as well. So the Cascades could go another round, eastern Washington, really pretty much any place except for maybe the Columbia Basin here. So we are not done with the thunderstorm threat east of the Cascades and east, I should say, and the higher terrain British Columbia east as well. Now taking a look here, this is the 12Z GFS. Here's our upper level low. Here's North America, Washington, Oregon, California, BC. We put this into motion. There goes our upper level low kind of meandering there, and then finally kicks through British Columbia on the day Saturday. Now watch as we dig this trough out the Gulf of Alaska here. Now, depending on where this trough amplifies, we could be building another ridge across the area all the way up through BC and the Northwest Territories and the Yukon here, and giving ours Pacific Northwest, everybody here, another heat wave. And then you can see that it lasts for a few days too, according to the GFS. And then potentially another trough cooling us down as we go towards next weekend. But that's getting a little bit too far out there. Let's just concentrate on one thing at a time. Now, looking at the European here, upper level low, good agreement, short term. You can see this start to kick through on the day Saturday as well. And then this trough digs out over the Gulf of Alaska. Where will it amplify this ridge? If this sets up a little bit further east, we're going to be much cooler than we would if this retrogrades a little bit back further to the west. So this position of this low and this ridge is going to mean everything on just how warm we get here across Pacific Northwest coming up here. Now looking here, this is the 850 millibar temperature anomaly at 5,000 feet. There's our upper level low spinning there, ejects through British Columbia, and then we dig this ridge, this trough amplifies this ridge across the region, and so you can see well above average temperatures aloft, very warm air aloft here. So depending on where this ridge sets up, it's going to mean everything on what temperatures we get here across Pacific Northwest. Here's the GFS here, 12Z, showing similar. There's our upper level low that kicks through on Saturday. Trough digs out. We get a ridge amplified across the region. Very warm temperatures aloft, well up into the Yukon and the Northwest Territories, British Columbia, Washington, Oregon as well. And that hangs on for a few days there before we potentially cool down the following weekend. But that's getting a little bit too far out there in fantasy land at this point. Now look at Portland. You can see the upper level trough kind of hanging around here, keeping us at average, maybe a little below on Saturday before we start to warm up again. And this would be if we get that heat wave again, potentially flirting with 100-degree temperatures again next week in Portland. Checking out Seattle, maybe flirting with a 90-degree day there on Wednesday, and maybe even on a Thursday there too, depending on just how strong this ridge sets up over the area. You can see the cooler temperatures remaining through most of this weekend here, maybe even slightly below average. So enjoy these cooler temperatures while they're here. It looks like another bout of heat is coming. And look at the Tri-Cities, man. Looking early next week into mid next week, possibly up towards 110 degrees again. Just an insane summer over there so far. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. National Weather Service agrees, showing the above average, the strong signal for above average temperatures. You can see the cool weather continues through Alaska. Monsoon season signal continues to exist as well. Monsoon season signal shows up in that precipitation, 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Washington State below average signal coming up here. And this is an experimental outlook here. Risk of hazard temperatures the National Weather Service does. And you can see moderate, excessive heat, moderate here. So there is some confidence in this heat wave coming up. I mean, the European, the GFS do show it. Probably give another day or so before we start sounding the alarm on this heat wave, just to see how this ridge positions across the region. If it keeps showing this again as we go on into tonight and tomorrow, then confidence will definitely increase in this heat wave coming up. So this is the picture I got down here towards Tacoma today. There was some urban flooding down there, some pretty good lightning strikes. I missed a couple really good ones to the right and left of the car as I was repositioning. It just happened to miss me there, but I did get this one here. Pretty fun day out there chasing these thunderstorms around. So yeah, this threat will be ending across the Puget Sound, but again, for the next couple of days, Cascades East will be dealing with this thunderstorm threat. As you can see, this monsoon moisture continue to stream northward here. So upper level low is going to take its sweet time coming around here. So it's going to keep us seasonably cool here on the west side of the Cascades before we potentially build another ridge for next week. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow. We'll check out the model runs and try to get some confidence in just what's going to be coming here for next week. And yeah, so we'll do this again tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed those thunderstorms that rolled through the area today. They're quite a rare treat for this part of the country. So yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. And if you guys haven't yet, like and subscribe. The channel's doing really well. It will continue to do so the more people hear about it. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.